Geraldo Rivera joins us. Dan Bongino joins us. Geraldo, you're an attorney. That is a beatdown. That is a slapdown.
It really is a stunning and courageous stance by the judge. He's calling a spade a spade. He is piercing all the political and legal mumbo-jumbo, the niceties, and he is telling us that the emperor has no clothes. He's basically telling us, that the prosecutor's ruthless and highly focused motivation was to torpedo and sabotage the president of the United States. I think that it is. I have never, in my long career, I have never heard a judge so frank and so direct and so dramatic in his assessment of a special prosecutor. In other words, here you have Mueller with his demeanor and his reputation and his august air and his patrician daring, and this is nobility personified. And this judge says, "Hey, wait a second. That's not what's really happening. This guy is full of it. What he wants is a harshly political resolution ending in an impeachment of a sitting president." I think it's very stunning, Sean.
I think it's stunning, and it could actually. I think now this is going to be the beginning of a very long process where there's going to be more of these moments, because obviously I can't wait to hear from the FISA judges, for example, Dan Bongino, that were presented unverified, uncorroborated, Clinton bought and paid for Russian lies, and weren't told that Hillary Clinton paid for the propaganda. I can't wait to hear from them, because, I kind of know judges a little bit, and they kind of like to be referred to as, yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. They're not going to tolerate being lied to at such a spectacular level like this.
Right, Sean, and it seems highly unlikely at this point that they were told the truth. I mean, think about this, right? If the basis for this spying operation and these FISA warrants was a spying operation against Carter Page, at least we know that much, according to publicly released reporting and documents. If Carter Page is the greatest Russian spy of our generation, you can't have it both ways. And why is he out doing media interviews all over the place on the media, running free today? You understand how this thing makes no sense? Use a court designed to take down terrorists to spy on a campaign, an opposing political campaign, while the Barack Obama team was in power, yet the guy you used to do it is still running free. That says to me you had nothing the entire time. I said on your Fox show the other night, I said, listen, you can't fabricate collusion that didn't happen. They have no case, Sean. They are investigating Trump. They are not investigating a crime. This couldn't be any clearer.
I'm reading the tea leaves here, and I never like to do this in any type of court proceeding, especially Supreme Court arguments, Geraldo, and this wasn't the Supreme Court, but I don't see this judge in any way going along with Mueller's team, and I sense here that these charges are going to be dropped for the very purpose that had nothing to do with the special counsel charge of Rod Rosenstein.
At the very least, Sean, what you'll see is an extended litigation where the government will appeal the judge's very pointed ruling and very, very harsh ruling. I think they'll do it to try to redeem their own reputation. But I think that what has happened is here you have a sitting federal judge who has basically announced to the world that the special counsel's entire intent has been to use whatever means necessary to take down the 45th president of the United States. By going after Manafort, by going after extracting the police from Gates, Flynn, General Flynn, the Michael Cohen flamboyant raid in New York. I think that you'll have a similar, I believe, a similar finding, or certainly a similar argument in the New York and the Southern District case with the raid on the attorney's office. It is pretty clear that you have a rabid desire that is a political rather than legal or just goal, Sean.
Quick break. We will come back. All right, as we continue with Dan Bongino and Geraldo Rivera here on the Sean Hannity Show, I'm thinking if I'm the prosecutor in that case and that judge is saying it to me, I am humiliated today. I am embarrassed today. And at some point, this is, so often with these prosecutors, they lose all perspective. if you listen to, for example, Mike Caputo and his very, very passionate description of what they did to destroy his family, he said this is a punishment strategy. I think they want to destroy the president. They want to destroy his family. They want to destroy his business. They want to destroy his friends so that no billionaire in, say, 15 years is ever going to wake up and say, you know what, the country's broken, and I think I'm the only one that can fix it. His wife will say, are you crazy? Look what they did to Donald Trump and everybody around him. This guy, Michael Caputo, lost his home because of legal fees while he was trying to serve his country, but now had to spend all of this money hiring lawyers. He's now back living with his father. He's on TV tonight with us. These are real lives, Dan.
And Sean, we cannot let this stand. This is a very deliberate strategy. Understand this, that they did this for a reason. That Caputo piece, by the way, is incredible. And he says at the end, damn you to hell for doing this. They took 6 figures from this guy, $125,000, came out of his kid's college fund. He had to move. He now has to go money again to pay all these legal bills. Because what? Because he did exactly what you just said. He had the temerity, and I say that sarcastically, to go work for a Republican campaign. Sean, this is a message. The message being sent here is anyone who touches Donald Trump is going to go down, and we are going to use the machine of government to attack you, and bankrupt your kids, all based on a lie. Sean, you and I both know it. If we thought for a second the Donald Trump campaign had sincerely colluded with the Russians to overturn an election in the United States, Republicans would be the first one out there. A lot of us swamp rats don't like this guy either, even on the Republican side. There's nothing there, Sean. They ruined this guy's life. They're ruining the president's life, his kid's life, and anyone in his orbit, all because they won an election. That is it. There is nothing there.
Yeah, well, there is nothing there. Where does it go? All this talk this week about Rudy Giuliani, Mark Levin, I think, was just dead on accurate last night. All the constitutional power really is with the president, Geraldo. All this talk about the president's going to sit down here. They do not have the power. If the president uses his powers under Article 2, for example, the president could end all of this. He hasn't done it. He's tried to patiently go through the process. But the president, it is not as complicated if the Constitution is on the side of the president. He has the ability to end this anytime he wants, but he hasn't wanted to do that. But at the end of the day, the president can do that. In other words, and what he should be doing is taking and challenging every move by Mueller that is an abuse of power, an abuse of his authority, and abuse of the mandate that was set down originally in this case.
Can do, though, Sean, is different than should do. What has to happen now, in my view, is you need urgent discussions between the president's counsel and the special counsel on agreeing, and it could be in the context of the special counsel must limit the scope of what he's doing. There's not a person on earth who could withstand an entire unlimited, highly skilled, highly motivated, highly partisan attack by prosecutors like the team Mueller has assembled. Nobody could withstand that, much less someone who's lived as flamboyant a life as President Trump has.
Well, nobody good is ever going to want to run for office, ever.
Well, but be that as it may, right now our concern is this president. Yeah. And I think that firing Mueller will not solve the problem. I think getting Mueller into some kind of scale where he can pledge before the court that this is what I'm going to do, placate or satisfy this judge's concerns. New York was a mistake. Manafort's got to be limited. Now let's decide what the special counsel is doing. And I think I'd love to see Congress, including Democrats, support the president in terms of his righteous anguish over the unbridled nature of this investigation.
I got to let it end there. Thank you both for being with us.